Hello, everybody. It is new to being a otaku. Welcome to the second ever episode of Otaku Talk. Today I'm going to be interviewing Greg Miller from IGN. He is the PlayStation Executive Editor. So, say hello, Greg.
I'm glad to know I'm so important. I made it to episode 2. Couldn't put
Yep.
me on episode 1. Had to get some other schmuck.
Well, I was kind of afraid to ask you because you're, a really big, popular guy out there.
All right, I like how you're buttering me up nicely. I like how you're covering this up.
All right. Now, since this show is called Otaku Talk, and I'm really not sure about this, I just have to ask you first: do you watch or read? Do you watch anime or read manga?
I have read manga in the past, most notably Ghostbusters. Oh, and then you'll help. Today on GameScoop, me and Clements were trying to remember this one we used to both like. It's a manga book. We used to get it in the office. It's got a whole bunch of volumes. It was about a guy who wants to be it's a boy who wants to, like a teen, who wants to be a priest. He goes to this academy, but like through devilish means, he's put into an all-girls school. What is that called? We could not remember the name of it.
I have absolutely no idea. There's
All right, well,
so
I read,
many of them out there. I mean,
I read like 6 volumes of that. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
you read 6 volumes and you still don't remember the name?
No, that's right.
Okay, all right.
We'd get them free at work. I just paged through them. I enjoyed myself.
All right, well, I guess for any of those anime or manga fans out there, it's pretty much going to be all for the interview, so now we're going to move on to other questions. So E3 is coming up like within 2 weeks or a little bit more than that. Are you excited for any announcements or, just anything really in particular?
Yeah, I mean, my beat's the PlayStation, so I always like to go to the Sony conference and see what they're going to have. And it seems like they tipped their hand early this year by having the Hollywood event, showing PlayStation All-Stars, showing God of War. And so now it's like, well, if they're showing that stuff so early, what do they have planned for the conference, right? Like they've got to have something. They have an hour and a half, whatever it is, set aside to be like, here's our awesome lineup. We won't want to see the same stuff. So I'm hoping for a lot of announcements there. Obviously,
right.
the Vita's in trouble. I'd like to see what they have there.
Well, you see, last year in their keynote, they had a little video about the new Sly Cooper 4. I'm super excited for that. I hope they have just some more gameplay, maybe. I'm just hoping for really anything about that.
Now, did you see my preview on IGN today?
No, I don't think I did.
It's coming to the Vita. It's cross-play Vita now. So there's
really?
new gameplay videos up. Yeah, you can take your save back and forth.
Oh,
Shares
wow.
a trophy list, yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. Now, just because I have to ask, do you have a favorite PlayStation game?
Of all time?
All time, and then I have another question about that.
Sure. For years I've said my favorite game of all time is Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1. And it's one of those things I like it because it really set the standard for me of where video games could go. Like, it's one of those things where I think I had wavered a bit. Like, I've been lucky enough that gaming's been growing with me, right? Like, you figure my first system was the Sega Master System. Obviously, my friends had NESs, saw Mario, and then we'd get a little bit older, and then there'd be the Genesis, and a little bit older, there'd be this. So there was this gap where I was like, is this all it's ever going to be is platformers and collecting coins? And I really felt like Metal Gear was this turn to be like, oh, no, it can be mature, and it can be this, movie-like experience. So that's always going to have such a special place in my heart.
All right. Now, kind of a better question. Do you have a favorite game within the past 5 years?
Well, wow, okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I have a couple, obviously. I'm a huge Infamous fan, so Infamous is up there. Gave Uncharted 3 a 10, stand by it. Still the reason I play video games, love that cinematic experience. And then Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Like, I think it might be a better game than Metal Gear Solid on PS1, but I haven't been able to sit down and reconcile that with myself yet. So it's one of those things where that's definitely on my list of things that I love, you know what I mean?
All right. Now, since IGN does cover more than just games, I do have a question. Are there any new movies coming out this year that you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I'm a big DC Comics fan.
Oh,
so
yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Knight, yeah, that really speaks to me as far as, like, I want to know what's going on with that. It's interesting that they're ending it. They're saying this is the end of the Nolan trilogy,
Yeah.
so what does that mean for the characters? That's probably the most anticipated movie I have right now.
All right. Do you have a favorite movie of the year so far that's come out?
Avengers.
Yeah, I was pretty much expecting that.
Yeah, Avengers was so good. I just saw it again for the second time over the weekend, and it totally
Really?
holds up. I still was into it. I want to see it again. So I don't say that about movies often.
I know, like, really, I wanted to go see it the other day, and my brother did not want to go see it, and it started to rain, so we're just like, all right, fine, whatever. But
Your brother's got to commit, all right?
I know. I need to find a way there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so besides movies, are there any TV shows that you're into right now? Anything really, that's really got you in there?
I mean, TV's weird for me. At the moment, not really. Like, there's shows I like. Like, I like Community a lot. I like Mad Men. I watch Game of Thrones and enjoy it. But it's not like I sit there and I'm, like, tapping my foot like, oh, my God, I can't wait to see what happens tonight kind of thing. I just let them pile up in the DVR until I have a moment where I'm eating something in front of the TV and want to sit there and watch.
All right. I mean, for me, I'm not really a giant TV person. I mean, I'll watch Smash every now and again and Glee, which is really weird, but I'll watch those every now and then. It's kind of weird. I'm mostly a Netflix guy or whatever's on the internet. Okay, so you are the PlayStation executive editor at IGN. What exactly does that mean? Can you walk us through a day of your life?
Well, sure. I mean, they change drastically day to day, but in general, what it is that I'm responsible for making sure our PlayStation coverage is on point. Like, it's one of those things where if you look at reviews and you look at how IGN's set up, anyone can review anything. Mitch Dyer technically is an Xbox editor here at IGN, but he reviewed Starhawk for us. And, Colin wrote the Halo 4 news. And it's one of those things where basically we're on the PlayStation beat. So we can cover anything, we do anything, but like on a day-to-day basis, it's checking the PlayStation blog, it's having the relationship with, Sony PR that I can try to set up interviews, or Colin can go do these long San Diego, Santa Monica interviews where he gets, unfettered access to these people and do something really crazy. And so basically you're just in charge of steering the ship as far as like what's coming up and being the go-to source for what's happening with, one of the biggest companies, one of the biggest consoles, doing something along those lines. So a day for me, is coming in, going through a million emails. If I'm lucky, playing a game for a little bit, but doing podcasts, doing meetings about what's going on, where we're going. E3 obviously right around the corner. We're nonstop right now trying to figure out what's happening there, going to see games. It's kind of crazy.
All right. So do you have any advice for anyone who would maybe one day want to work for IGN?
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on what you want to do. But if you're trying to get into basically what I do or what you're doing here with, podcasting, being a personality, being an editor, write is first and foremost. Write as much as you can wherever you can. I thought for sure that I would graduate journalism school and just be able to walk right into IGN or EGM or whatever. And I graduated and nobody wanted to touch me because even though I had clips and I had all these articles I had written for newspapers about video games, they were totally spread out. So you figure I'd have one every few, maybe months if I was lucky, if I could convince an editor to let me do something. And when I finally got the job here, I had a column that I convinced the paper to let me do and a daily blog. So I had 6 months of pure video game experience to show people, say, look at me, I've honed my voice, I know what I'm doing, I have a stance on industry happenings, I can localize the story and make that work. So it's helpful if you go to journalism school, I think. Get your feet, grounded, know how to write. But basically just be writing anywhere you can. Be writing for IGN if you can, for my IGN, have a blog there, get freelance work for other sites, do whatever you can, start a podcast with your friends. And that's where it starts to get into, there's so much more expected from an editor now than there is just writing. It's like now if you wanted advice, I would say keep doing podcasts, write for a blog somewhere, have your own blog, and then also do YouTube videos. It's one of those things when you look at what I do now versus what an editor a few years ago even was expected to do. Back then it was just you're expected to write, and that right now, I'm expected to be on podcasts, be a personality, go to events and shake hands, talk to people, have the Up at Noon show, right? Do daily news stories that are ad-lib, do all the stuff that's outside of the realm of just writing now. Now you are a personality. You should try to be well-rounded, and it's one of those things, you can find that you're not the best writer, but you're good on camera, or you're, an awesome writer, but you're not that great at podcasts, and it's one of those things where it's like an RPG when you start building your character and you see like the circle expand towards attributes that are really good. People see that and they weigh you, and you can fit into crews a little bit better.
All right. Now, I do have a fan question, and this is actually from my brother because no one else wants to really give a question for me. But the question is, what is your favorite music video of all time?
My favorite music video of all time? Okay. Probably Weezer Buddy Holly. Like,
Yeah.
a lifelong
That
Weezer
is a
fan.
great video.
And I remember when we first saw that video, we were like, what the hell is this? Who are these guys? And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like, I remember my teachers in school asking me about it because it came, like, on Windows 95, like, the video player sample that used it and stuff. So people want to know about it. It was cool. But I haven't watched music videos in a long time, seeing as how MTV does not air them anymore.
Yeah, that is true. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. Although I do have one last question that I'm going to be asking everyone, and I asked my last guest. So
Sure.
my question for you is, have you ever watched or will you ever consider watching My Little Pony Friendship is Magic?
I have never watched it.
Will you
Consider it?
watching?
Sure. I'll consider it for sure. Is it on Netflix streaming?
Yes, it is. Both seasons.
Oh, wow. Well, it's a show. It's not a movie. See, now that's a commitment. Now you got me. How many episodes I got to get through?
I think there's 50-something episodes, but what I recommend doing is
okay,
watching
now
the first 2 episodes, and then I believe the episode's called the Cutie Mark Chronicles or something like that. Watch that episode, and then
Okay.
see how you like it. The show's very cutesy, but it's not really and this is weird for me to say, but it's not really girly. It's more like gender neutral.
Okay.
So
So
I
what
would
do you
recommend
like about
watching
it?
it. All right, and now
What draws you to it? No, you're not getting off the hook. Why do you like it?
why do I like it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's just something about it. The story is really, really good. It's a really funny show. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. It's not the most amazing thing in the world, but it's something that I can watch, I can just watch all of it in a row and, just be entertained by it. It's something that I really like. It's a really good show, and I recommend everyone to watch it.
Okay, I'll try it out for you.
All right. And now, in the show, you're going to see this, but like on their hip, kind of, on their thigh, they have a little logo. And their logo is called their cutie mark, and everyone gets one of those. So I have to ask you, if you were a pony, what would your cutie mark be?
Oh, man. Probably the Beyond logo.
Oh, that I can see that happening. I really
Okay.
can.
You can do some fan art, or we can ask the other kids to do some fan art and send it in.
All right. Just send it out to the whole DeviantArt community. Make
All right.
Greg Miller pony with the IGN Beyond logo. Go ahead and do that.
All right.
All right,
I'll tweet out this episode of the show, and I'll make sure people know to do that.
All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. This has been New to Being a Otaku, and...
Greg Miller.
All right, okay. Thanks for coming on. This was amazing. I would love to have you on again. This was just very fun. Thank you for coming. So,
Please
yeah,
thanks for
guys.
having me.
All right, well, so that's all for now. So, Otaku out.